What's up?
Happening? What's up, brother? What's everyone doing?
Another day in paradise, man. Another day in
How was your
paradise.
weekend, man?
Not too bad. I can't complain, man. It was my weekends are, well, I mean, I work Saturday, so Sunday's my weekend.
Well, you know what?
I
I've
spend
been
it with family.
spoiling myself. I've been spoiling myself because I've been like not doing anything during the weekends as far as YouTube goes. And man, it's been kind of nice. Like I took this entire weekend off. Was really nice spending time with the family. Oh, and I got to tell you something, Gray. I forgot to tell you this in the behind the scenes, but I think that today this is going to be my last live stream of the year. So because I want to spend more time with the fam during the holidays. So I guess we're going to pick up our next live stream between you and me, with you and me. We'll pick it up sometime next year, but we'll talk. How's that sit with you? I should have asked you this before we even came on.
No, you're good. I remember watching the live stream where I didn't win any silver.
What do you mean? This right here?
Yeah.
Oh,
right
I'm
there.
sorry, Gray. I'm sorry, man. This one, I haven't mailed it out yet. This one belongs to somebody. Somebody already won this one.
I mean, it is Christmas time, man. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
And I remember you mentioning that, and I thought to myself, okay, so this, whatever the date is, today's the 11th, will be our last Welcome to the Apocalypse stream for 2023. We'll start back off in 2024. It'll be on your channel.
Yes.
I thought to myself, I said, maybe I will do one more live stream right before Christmas. I'll do it on a Monday on the same time slot. That seems to work really well for our viewers. And it's just going to be a Q&A Christmas hangout kind of live stream. And that'll be my last one for 2023 as well. And I might do something special. I don't know. You know how it is sometimes. So we'll see.
You know, if I do another live stream between now and the new year, it will be for one of two reasons. Number one, because I'm in the house alone because my wife and my daughter are doing something and I'm bored out of my mind. I'm like, let me just go and hang out with the people, you know, for that reason, number one. Or maybe, depending on how Christmas Day goes, maybe I'll come on for a little bit after all of the festivities inside my house are over so that I can spend a little bit of time with maybe some people that maybe don't have anyone to spend Christmas with. So those are the two reasons why I may have a live stream between now and the new year. Other than that, nothing that's regularly scheduled, you know, throughout the year, like this one and or my regular Friday one.
Well, that's always very kind of you, brother. And yeah, other than that, I have, unfortunately, you know, the videos that people hate, I have a lot of review videos to do because it is the holidays and the companies always want you to, you know, showcase their products. So some of that stuff, and then I have an update. I'm going to do probably maybe a Christmas Eve garden update that I'll drop because the garden is doing very well here in Florida while everybody's freezing, nice. I guess. But I've noticed that have we said hi to anybody in chat, man? Because we've just been talking like we're on the phone again.
Hey, man, let's just roll with it, okay? I'm itching myself to say, hey, amazing grandma, yarn prepper, Minuteman 69. But let's just roll with it. I think that's what the people want.
I got something I want to show off.
What do you got there?
Let me see here.
Now I'll tell you what, mine's is up here. I gotta make sure
I have it the right way.
Look at this, Gray. Where is it? Yarn prepper, yours is right here. I just can't unfurl it because there's no room for it, but that's it right there. The one that Yarn made for me. Is that awesome or what, man?
Yeah, it's the whole thing, man.
You have it backward, brother. You have it backward. Turn that around.
I think it's the camera. It's the camera.
There you go, like that. No, you just did it backward again. Forget it, man. Forget it.
Anyways,
that's it. Like that. Like that. There you go.
There we go.
Oh,
finally.
Nice. Very nice.
There we go.
That is awesome, man.
Yeah, Yarn Prepper made this for me. And thank you, Yarn, so much. And folks, if you ever want something like this, Yarn does make these. You guys got to go follow Yarn on Instagram, man.
That is Yarn Prepper's Kung Fu right there.
For sure, man.
He is awesome at that, man. I would never be able to do that.
Love it, man. Love it.
Yeah. Hey,
Well,
by the way, Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah, ladies and gentlemen.
to all, to all. Um, Being that I wanted to talk about the topic for tonight, basically, we're going to kind of focus in on prepare to survive with winter power outages. But before we get into that, there's I guess you could say, an elephant in the room. And what I mean by that is the movie that Netflix dropped that was made by the Obamas or produced by the Obamas.
What? I have
Which
no idea what you're talking about.
you don't? Okay, awesome.
No.
This is great. So
What
it's a
is the? Is
cyber.
it You said a Netflix movie. What's the name of it? Maybe I've heard the name and then didn't know that it was
It's
them.
Leave the World Behind. I think it's what it's called.
Yeah,
Leave
never
the
heard
World
of
Behind.
Okay.
It has Julia Roberts in it, Kevin Bacon as the prepper, and a bunch of other folks in there. It has a lot of it has a lot of little hidden messages because remember,
Wait a
the
minute.
Obamas.
It's about prepping. It's about preparing.
Well, it kind of is. It's about a cyber attack that cripples, the United States and so on and so forth.
That's it. That's it. I'm sorry. I got to break in. Full stop. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to prepare for a cyber attack. The lights are going to go out. Right? The lights. You know what? I'm trying to be a little bit funny here, but maybe I'm not. Because this is, what do they call it, Grey? Something programming? Predictive?
Yes.
Predictive
programming.
It's The Simpsons. It's The Simpsons is all it is. Man, I may have to watch that movie then.
I watched a couple of the trailers. Me and the family are going to sit down and watch it and dissect it. I think Nate over at Canadian Prepper's done something with it, and several other channels have kind of dug into it a little bit, and it's interesting. And the fact that some of the little subliminal things that they've stuck into it, you know what I mean? One part of it says there's a family that says white people are bad, you can't trust them. And some other weird stuff in there.
Man. That's man, I'll tell you what, man. We're just talking here, man. So ladies and gentlemen, none of this is scripted, right? We're just talking. Man, nothing bothers me more than that. Like, just keep that crap out of it. Like, a movie can be a great movie, and then as soon as they throw some of that crap in there, some of this woke ideology in there, man, forget it. And not too many things really upset me, but that's one of the things that upsets me the most. And this is why. It's because it is intentionally done to separate us. That's what it's done for. Intentionally done to separate us so that we can blame each other and not follow up on who the real enemy is. That's why. And Grey, please hold that thought, because I just thought of something. I'm going to go ahead and talk about it for about a minute here on this channel. And the next video that I've got coming out on my channel, which will be later on tonight, talks about it as well. So, ladies and gentlemen,
did Rudy freeze, folks? See, he was talking. He was talking about something he shouldn't. He froze. Polishes, divide, conquer. Oops. I want to make sure it's not me. I'm looking at all my screens. And it looks like Rudy is frozen. Rudy, if you can still hear me. Rudy froze. Okay, where's Rudy? All right. Thank you, Gail. And Sean and some of the other folks. Rhonda. I appreciate that. I wanted to make sure it's me. All my monitors has him frozen. He'll probably notice this happens I mean, he lives in Alaska, folks. The reception there is not the best. But we'll let him catch up. He's probably he's going to clock back in, as I call it. I'm going to keep an eye out for him. But yeah, folks, that movie is something to, I suggest people watch it and take what you want out of it. You know what I mean? I'm really curious how they portray the prepper in that movie, which is Kevin Bacon is the prepper in the movie. And like I said, whenever they put stuff out like that, it's almost like they're trying to give us a little hint what's coming down the pipe, right? And this is just speculation. It's not like it's fact or anything like that, but that's how things usually roll. They're trying to condition us to the point where like, oh, we'll show them, what could happen. And maybe some folks might, prepare for something like this. I'm just keeping an eye out for Rudy. And while he's sitting there, I wanted to just kind of, I took some notes on, and the reason I wanted to do the prepare to survive with winter power outages is because there's a lot of things happening in regards to cyber attacks. as well as things with the polar vortex, with El Nino. There's a lot of things happening this winter. Even the Farmer's Almanac has put out some material stating that it's going to be a nasty winter for some folks. Some people think, just because it's very warm currently here in December, parts of I think it's the northwestern regions and stuff like that. And that being said, is if God, I wish I could remember the channel that I watch. He's really very knowledgeable on weather patterns and stuff like that. And he shows how the polar vortex is when it strengthens and becomes super strong. And then there's this warm air push that kind of creates this whole situation where it pushes down into the United States, kind of over, where Michigan is, the northeastern region of the United States, and it pushes down, sometimes all the way down to Florida, where you get some, blistering cold weather. And I wanted to talk about that because we're in December, and it's getting chilly, right? And some folks have already experienced some pretty nasty weather already. Matter of fact, I think Texas, or anybody out in Texas out there, kind of that Louisiana, Texas area, there were supposed to be some nasty storms moving through there, mostly rain and wind. And I think it's heading to Florida. I'll be seeing some of that wind and rain coming my way towards the end of this week, if I recall correctly. There is.
Cyber attack, ladies and gentlemen. Cyber
attack. I told you. I told him, I said, you must have said something that triggered the overlords, man.
No, you know what happened? I have my power cord for my computer setup attached to a solar generator. That way, if power goes out, I have my backup. And I tangled it on my chair's leg, and when I moved, it pulled it out. So okay. It completely turned everything off. But that's fine. It is what it is. But
it's a live stream, brother.
I was talking about how this movie, and I want you to still talk about this movie that you're talking about. But I was talking about how it's used to divide us, and talking about dividing people. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm putting out a video later on today. I'm going to publish it later on. It's already done. And on that video, I talk about the deal that happened with GreyMan Prepping. All right. Now, for those of you that don't know, and I'm just going to cover this really quickly because I don't like drama. I don't like to get into stuff. However, I take full responsibility for what happened for one reason. And that reason is that I'm a very gullible person when it comes to trusting people. Why? Because I still love humanity. I still see the good in people first and foremost before anything else. Now, I had in the past received several emails, comments, and actually friends that I have telling me, hey, this guy's saying bad stuff about you here and there, whatever, right? So then I put that out on last week's video that, hey, why don't we come together? It wasn't really a video that I put out saying that GreyMan Prepper was a bad person, but saying that, hey, a lot of people have been telling me that you may not be talking good about me or whatever, right? And but the video was more about why, hey, we should be coming together. Well, this is what I think happened. GreyMan Prepping, he put out a video, I think it was a live stream. And listen, I've always liked his channel. I've always thought that he's a good person. They have a good family. And once I heard it come out of his mouth, I am pretty certain of what happened. And this is what I think happened, but I can't prove that it's what happened. I think that if you go to his channel and his previous channel too, where he had a channel where he blogs about his family's life, you'll see that he had to shut that channel down because of what happened in the Middle East, right there between Israel and Palestine. And the reason is probably because of his faith. He had to shut that channel down. He was being attacked from a lot of people. I have a feeling, and like I said, I can't prove this, but I have a feeling that people were attacking him by sending untrue information, and my channel was one of them. And like I said, the only reason I brought it up is because I got so many of them. It wasn't just one or two, it was several. All right. And the reason I say I take full responsibility for that is because I should have checked even more than what I did. Instead of just, listening to the people that I listen, I should have checked even more than what I did before I said anything. So anyways, I talk about that a little bit on today's video. And I apologize for even saying anything because like I said, I should have looked into it further other than that. But I just want you all to know that if you haven't checked out his channel, go check out his channel. He's a really good guy, right? You may or may not like him. It depends on your style. But look for today's video that I release later on today, and I explain it a little bit more in detail there. But this is a time where we have to stick together. And when we have movies like that, like the one you're talking about, Grey, that has little, I don't know what they call it, little placements of woke
Hmm.
things here and there. Those things are meant to keep us separated, ladies and gentlemen, and divided. Because divided, we will fall divided, and they know that. The powers that be know that their best tool is to keep us divided. All right, Grey. Hey, aren't you glad I'm back, Grey? I got back and I took over right away.
No, and just to add to what you're saying before we move on to this movie thing, um, it's 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 always going to be that way. You know what I mean? It's like there's so many channels out there, and the biggest issue that there's always going to be someone that doesn't like someone else because of whatever reasons that they have. And folks, no matter what channels you watch out there, as long as you enjoy that channel, to heck what anybody says, folks. If you love this channel or that channel, then support that channel. You know what I mean?
Yep.
There's always going to be trolls. There's always going to be people that, like my favorite on me, and Rudy's dealt with it on certain occasions as well. But me, people say, Grey, you talk too much. And it's funny because some people say, Grey, you don't ever get to talk on the live stream. And I'm like, well, man, people tell me I talk too damn much
Oh,
on
wow.
my thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, no one's ever told me that I talk too much.
and I'm like, and the last person that said that on my last video that I did, I was like, look, I'm sorry, this might not be the channel for you. I can't change who I am. Good luck and God bless. I'm very polite with it. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm this is me. This is GreyMan, and this is how I do my thing. Maybe this channel or that channel that, talks to you and shows you a 30-second clip of something, have at it. You know what I mean? Whatever works for you. It's like I said, we enjoy doing what we're doing. We try to give back to our communities. We try to build community. Even the videos that we produce sometimes, there's bound to be a mistake in that video occasionally, like my pancake video that some people didn't like about certain parts of things that I did.
Okay.
But, it's a learning experience. And I don't ever want, if I see something that someone does on a channel and they do something a little wrong, I might say, hey, this is a tip that I'd like to share with you, something that I learned in a mistake that I made in the past. To me, that's a positive comment because it's helping someone, because everyone starts somewhere. When you first get your first pressure canner and you go get your ball, your ball jars, and you get the ball handbook and stuff like that, and it's your first time, you will make mistakes. But each mistake is a learning pivot point that every time you make a mistake, you learn more and more and more and more. And that makes you a better prepper. It makes you better prepared for you, and not only just for yourself, but for your family. So there's always mistakes, and constructive criticism is a wonderful thing. Just do it politely. You know what I mean? So there's lots of great people out there with full of great information. There's people that watch my channel that have been canning for 25 years and share their perspective on it. And I'm like, thank you so much, because I've only been doing that for a year. But anyways, that's just folks, we love you guys. You know what I mean?
Hey, Grey, give me a second. Let me fix my camera because it's on the wide angle. Let me go ahead and fix this so that it'll be closer. Right? But I'll be right back. Can you go ahead and take me off?
You want me to take you
go
off?
Ahead, yeah, just go ahead and make yourself. I have to do something else to fix it. I can't be on in order to fix it. It won't let me.
Poof. And Rudy's gone again. So we're going to talk a little bit about the movie. Our live streams, me and Rudy's live streams, there is no what's what I'm looking for. There's no script. It's just us talking and sharing and talking to you guys, talking to one another, and sharing tidbits of information. So some people, may, like, hey, why don't you guys stay on topic? Well, we just enjoy doing this. You know what I mean? We like having fun. And while we're having this conversation, we're also, there'll be tidbits of information that's very important. And that's, I just want to let everybody know that, because there's some folks that may come across this after the fact and be like, man, these guys just talk about just random stuff. And it's like, it's fun. You know what I mean? You can't always be serious.
Yeah, we're just hanging out here, man. Hey, great. McBean Scottish Fitness. John, congratulations, brother. For all of you that don't know, John hit his 10,000 mark.
That's awesome.
It's a big milestone on YouTube. All right, so congratulations, brother.
Speaking of that, Rudy, I was thinking about this down the road. It's something we could talk about behind the scenes, but I thought about every once in a while, maybe we'll bring in like a guest or something like that, and we can like both, tag team him and stuff like that, do a double interview or something like that,
It's up to you, man. It's up to you. You listen, ladies and gentlemen. I conned Grey into doing this, right? Because I conned him into doing this because I'm sure you will all agree with me that GreyMan is a great interviewer, right? He's a great interviewer, a lot better than I am, all right? Because an interviewer usually has to allow the interviewee to talk. So I was like, hey, Grey, why don't you come up with a few things that we can talk about on a weekly? And one week we'll do it on your channel. One week we'll do it on my channel during a live. It'll be a lot of fun. And we'll go ahead and do it as a collaboration. But as you've noticed, ladies and gentlemen, usually when it comes to what we're going to talk about, to the content, Grey usually takes the lead on that. All right. So it's up to you, Grey. If you want to do that, I'm all for it.
All right.
Whatever you think will work, man, I'm all for it. As long as we're having fun, as long as we have fun, that's all that matters. If we start not having fun, then forget it, man.
One thing I want to add in there for you folks that watch these live streams, to help us with to get these live streams to more people. I know Rudy's been talking about it, and I'm kind of jumped the gun on this, but folks, if you guys start leaving comments after the live stream and give us some of your thoughts on the live stream and stuff like that in the comments, every once in a while, me and Rudy may do something and pull a name from those comments and do something with that. Like, you might win something. You never know what might happen.
Who knows what this is? Anybody? Who knows what this is? Does anybody know what this is? I'll give you all like 10 seconds to reply. Just put it down in the comments if you know what this is.
And what we mean, and what we mean
knows. Look at what Yarn Prepper said.
Does. Silver. Yeah.
So this is like one of the things that I was like, hey, great, maybe one day I'll give one of these away on our live stream, that we collaborate with. No, this one belongs to someone, but just to let you all know what this is something that my wife will take credit for it, but she's not here, so I'll take credit for it. But this is what I call an apocalypse pouch. It's an apocalypse pouch because it has all of the coins that you need for an apocalypse. It comes with an American silver eagle. It comes with a $50 90% coin. It comes with 2 quarters, 90% quarters. It comes with 4 dimes, 4 90% dimes, and 1 Alaska Prepper coin. So that's what I call an apocalypse pouch. It's just something to have a little bit of fun with. But I see some of these being given away during our live streams here in the future. But we'll see how things go. All right. There you go, Linda. You got it. Apocalypse pouch. That's what it is.
All right. So I've seen and that's just like I said. So make sure after the videos end, you leave a comment. And during and just so we can get your feedback, because we like to hear your guys' thoughts on some of the topics that we discuss. But so let's kind of jump into this movie. A lot of people have been asking what the movie is called. Yeah. I'll go ahead and add it to the stage. Not that, but here we go. There it is. So it's called Leave the World Behind. And down here, it's on Netflix. The synopsis is a family vacation on Long Island is interrupted by 2 strangers bearing news of a blackout. As the threat grows, both families must decide how to best survive the potential crisis, all while grappling with their own place in this collapsing world. And it turns out to be a cyber attack. But here's the thing is remember, the Obamas had something to do with this movie. So it's quite interesting. And it's trending as #1 on the Netflix, as they call it. So yeah.
I guess, hey, Grey, I guess it's time for me to go ahead and get one of those trial periods of Netflix. I can watch that movie because I haven't had Netflix in literally years. We just got rid of that stuff a long time ago. Never gotten it since. And do they still do that where if you try it out for a month, you can watch their movies for free?
Yeah, I think there's something they're doing. I think you could do. There's always a trial. You can just kind of swap emails. Use one of the different emails that you normally don't use or whatnot. I used to do that. I used to do the Amazon Prime years ago.
All you got to do is put it on your calendar. Make sure you get out of that, whatever it is, before the time. Hey, Margarita Castaneda has a question. Are nickels 90% or 35% silver? Now, all of the coinage, or let's call it junk silver, all right, or constitutional silver coins that are pre-65, meaning that they were minted by the U.S. Mint in 64 or prior, are 90% silver with the exception of nickels. So you have any dollar coins, a dollar coin is 90% silver or 72.15% of it being silver, all right? The actual coin, because it's not a full ounce of silver in there, but it's made up of 90% silver. So you have your dollar coin, you have your half dollar coins are 90, you have your quarters, and you have your dimes that are 90% silver. The nickels are not. The only nickels that have any silver in them are, I believe, from the years 1943 to 1945, during the years that were during World War II, those years are. And the reason for it is because the nickels used to have nickel in them. And during the war effort, they needed nickel. They were short on nickel. So they decided during that period of time to substitute the nickel in the nickels with silver, 35% of it. However, after 45, I believe it was between 43 and 45, after that, they went and they took the silver out of it, and they haven't used silver and nickels since, all right? And the reason they stopped using silver in the nickel, let me tell you, is because while they were developing the nuclear war, all right, they needed a lot of silver. So they had to go and find silver everywhere that they could. And I forgot how many millions or billions of ounces of silver they had to use in order to be able to develop that nuclear warhead that they used in Hiroshima and in Nagasaki as well. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, yes, on the 35% silver, there are some that exist, but they're dated. You can go ahead and fact check me on that right now. I believe they're dated between 45 or 43 and 45. So let's see. Rebecca Snavely says, I want to watch that movie, but I don't have Netflix. I don't either, but I think I will be getting a temporary subscription for a month if they give you a trial membership just to watch it and see what it's about. Let's see. Right. Unbroken 1010 says, what about shekels? They are gold or silver? I believe shekels are silver, but I don't have any shekels. Okay.
I wanted to say this heck of a deal that I got on this. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera.
Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh, yeah. Man.
Quarters, dimes. I even got some good old, I think, what are these? I'm just going to focus in on that or not. Morgans.
That's a Morgan? Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
Do you know what I paid for this? I paid face value for all of this.
That's awesome, man.
$1. $1, quarters, 10 cents. Because the guy was just like,
that Morgan is easily $28, even though it doesn't have an ounce of silver. It's easily $28 at fair value.
I tried to explain to this person that I was like, hey, man, it's silver. And he's like, yeah. He's like, someone passed away and I want to get rid of all of it. And what do you offer me for it? And I gave him, he said he just wanted a few bucks for it, because it was changed to him. And I explained to him and he still just said, it doesn't matter. Give me 50, 60 bucks and it's yours. And I was like, okay, fine.
Oh my goodness. I mean, hey, listen, you can't save everyone, Gray. You can't save everyone. So it is what it is. Yeah. I would have done the same thing. I'd have done the same thing.
I tried to be fair, but he's just like, I'm like, all right, I'll take it. But anyways, where are we at? The movie, I knew Gray couldn't hold back. Love it, Gray. Thanks, Pony Girl. But yeah, I love
what is this, sound. Michelle Chiancone. Michelle Chiancone, can you find that, Gray? It's only about 10 up from the bottom. It's at the time is 3:30.
3:30.
Michelle is Chiancone.
Bing, got it.
I don't have any silver. Michelle, listen, it's okay that you don't have any silver, but a silver dime right now costs about $2.50. So if it's an economic thing with you, or a socioeconomic thing with you, why you don't have any silver, you can go and buy yourself one silver dime every week. And at the end of the year, you'll have 52 silver dimes. Okay. Slow and steady does win the race. And let me tell you what, you will be very happy that you have that when you need it. And I do believe that in our lifetimes, at least in the lifetimes of the cohort of folks that are around my same age, I believe that we will need to rely on stored silver or gold that we put away for wealth preservation. So you go buy yourself one. I'm not a financial advisor. I have to say that because I'm on the internet. Go buy yourself one silver dime or a silver quarter every time you get paid. Or if you get, like, let's say you get a Social Security check once a month, go ahead and buy yourself a couple of silver quarters. It's not going to break the bank. You can do it. And if you can't, find your kung fu, just like Yarn Prepper. Yarn Prepper's kung fu is a little side hustle where she uses her skills to earn a little bit of extra money, right? That's what I have to say about that, Grey.
All right. So I wanted to test a theory tonight. And right on the money at the 30-minute mark, one commercial ran for everybody. And that's it. It worked.
That's good.
One commercial.
They're letting you do that again?
So I played around with it, and I picked specifically one commercial, and it plays to everyone at the same time it should for 30 minutes at the 30-minute mark. And then if we go another 30 minutes, it'll do. So it's only one every 30 minutes instead of multiple commercials. It should just be one per 30 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me break in, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, allow that commercial. I know it's an inconvenience. Allow that commercial to run through for at least 15 seconds. It really helps with YouTube recommending the live stream to other people, even during the live stream. It helps a lot with YouTube recommending your channel and your live stream or that video to other people that maybe have never been recommended a video from your channel. So if you enjoy the channel, help them out by letting that run through for at least 15, even 30 seconds, and then just catch up, because that really does help. Listen, YouTube understands that if people are willing to sit through 15 or 30 seconds of a commercial or an ad, that they really like that channel, and they're going to go ahead and advertise that channel to other people, because more than likely other people will allow it to happen as well. And of course, YouTube makes income from ads, just like we do, the content creators. So it's just a way to help out that doesn't cost you any money. It just costs you a few seconds of time.
Yarn said we have to stop talking at the 30-minute mark. Don't let the commercial run.
Oh, we need to put a little alarm that goes ding.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh man. And if you don't pay for commercials, I don't know if you have YouTube Premium or not. Because if you have YouTube Premium, you're paying like a monthly subscription fee, and you don't get to watch commercials. But regardless, if you have YouTube Premium, we still as content creators get a little piece of that pie. YouTube does treat us to like a couple of pennies.
Look at Milo on the Ready. How you doing? It's good to see you. Milo on the Ready says he pays $2 over spot. That's awesome. That is awesome. Great price.
All right, Rudy. It's what's the temperature in your neck of the woods?
Man, it warmed up big time. We were hitting negatives here for like the last 3 or 4 or 5 days, and today is 16 degrees above zero outside. Awesome.
Thanks, Johnny, for the super chat, brother. Oh, man. I appreciate that.
Oh, nice.
That pays for the entire live stream, man. Then it pays for the entire live stream. Thank you, Johnny. Love you, man. And the reason I'm asking that is, so here, let me, I think I have it up here. Let's talk a little bit about our topic. So if anybody who comes across the video knows we talk about
we actually have something to talk about today? I didn't even know I picked anything. Oh, that's right. We're talking about power outages.
Power outages and basically this cold weather that we're having. I want to take a page out of the currently, which is the Farmer's Almanac. And the Farmer's Almanac has usually been pretty accurate. It's been around for a long, long time with a lot of, information in it. And it says an unusually snowy, wet winter is also predicted for the Pacific Northwest. Should El Nino materialize, which it has, it could direct the subtropical jet stream into California, translating into copious amounts of rain and snow across the entire Southwest. This goes on to say, winter in the Great Plains and Rockies will usher in plenty of cold temperatures and occasional bouts of storminess, bringing widespread rains and snow. Texans will need to bundle up, folks. Texans will need to bundle up as unseasonably cold weather is forecast throughout January and February, with a possible major winter storm in mid-January. And then here in my neck of the woods, the Southeast and Florida will see wetter than normal winters with average winter temperatures overall, but a few frosts may send some shivers to snowbirds trying to avoid the cold and snow back home. So, and it goes into Boston and Washington, and it says you might experience a lot of rain, sleet, and snowstorms to contend with. So I wanted to bring this up because every year we see folks get caught off guard, be it what happened in Texas and in that situation, be it, was it last year when all those folks got stuck in the snow on that highway and some people froze in their cars, all that stuff that happened. So I just wanted to take a moment and talk a little bit about winter preparedness, and then we'll talk about blackouts as well. Thank you, Lady T Survival. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Lady T. You're very kind.
Very kind, especially around the holidays, because I know everybody's pretty tight. Let me see what I got here. It's always good to, you don't want to plan after the storm or during the storm. You want to plan ahead always. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure most people have that mindset that you kind of want to, plan ahead and be prepared prior to something coming. Now, the news has gotten better in regards to some of the information they provide, in regards to, hey, in the next couple of days, it's going to drop to -30 and this is what's going to happen. You should do something about it. Some folks may blow it off, I've dealt with cold. It doesn't like that. But a lot of bad things can happen when the temperatures drop. And Rudy, I know that you've had some experiences in this neck of the woods, being where that you live, and being that where you live specifically outside of even Fairbanks itself, further out from like the hub of Fairbanks, you've probably dealt with some blizzards where you've been stuck in your house for quite some time.
It's kind of funny, because I was talking to my wife. I think this was yesterday. We're sitting on the couch, and I'm telling her, I'm like, yeah. I was trying to talk her into letting me build a shelving unit. We're remodeling our kitchen. We're moving our kitchen from one space to another. It's actually coming out really nice. The reason is because she's the one that's actually in charge of the remodel, as far as where what goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I was trying to talk her into allowing me to take an entire wall and have nothing but solar generators in it, all right? And I told her, I says, you know what? I kind of wish that we have a power outage for at least a week straight. And she looked at me, she's like, why? I'm like, it'll be an awesome test to see if we can make it a whole week with just our solar generators. And she looked at me with that kind of look like, you're sick, you know that? But no, it's very serious up here. Putting the fun stuff aside, it's very serious up here that you have a backup for heat. And for me specifically, in order for me to have a backup for heat, I need electricity. I don't have a wood stove, okay? For reasons, for when I built my house, right? I haven't experienced building, but I knew that I didn't want to owe the man. I knew that I didn't want a mortgage. I knew that I didn't want to be in debt. So I built a house. Before I got out of the army, we actually moved into our house the last day that I was allowed to stay on base. Our house was done. Enough for that we can move into it and live in it and have all the amenities that a house normally has, i.e. electric, plumbing, all that kind of stuff, right? So man, I think I lost my train of thought. So anyways, yes. So what's my, heat, right? So I need electricity for heat. Without electricity, I don't have any heat, right? I do have a backup that doesn't require electricity for heat, but I always plan for like if I didn't have a backup. You know what I mean? Because that would make the redundancy in my systems even more valuable. So that here is a huge deal. Can you imagine if for some reason it was -30, -40 degrees outside and we lost power and I have no heat because I don't have a backup for electricity? So it's a huge deal here. It's literally a lifesaver here if you have backup for heat and other systems. But here, the priority in the wintertime is you need to have heat in case there's a power failure for whatever reason. And hey, Gray, I think you had a Margarita Castaneda. Thank you very much for the super chat. Okay,
I got it.
I make
I
sure you
wanted you.
saw that.
Yeah, I wanted you to take a breath, and now I was going to say that.
There you
Thank
go.
you, Marguerite. I really
Okay.
appreciate that. Truly appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you as well, and God bless. Go ahead, brother. Sorry.
No, but that's what I was saying. I was saying, and it's something that I've touched on other videos and live streams, and it's that we all live in different areas of the world. So, like, my priority is not going to be your priority, Gray. Depending on where you live, depending on what you have, our priorities are not going to be the same. Even though we're preparing for, let's say, whatever it is, we may have different priorities in place as to what we need first in order for it to make our survival, a better chance for us to survive.
Sorry, I'm going through that. I'm going through the comments as things pop up,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
what I. And I got some things on here that because me and Liz, Rudy, I got things that you should have, for stuff like either power outages, and power outages or blackouts are a lot more scarier in the wintertime, I would assume, than for folks in Florida. I mean, I know the heat can be one thing, but like say if we lost power in December, January here in Florida for a few days or even a week, the temperatures aren't that bad, the humidity is not that bad. It would
right,
suck,
right.
but not someone who's at -20, -30 degrees, surrounded by snow and ice. But even living where I live, I still prep like I could see an ice age here in Florida.
Yeah,
um, I have and I wrote down some of the things I have. I have an emergency kit, with essentials like food, water, medications, flashlights, batteries, blankets. I have ways to heat myself. I have specialized stuff for the windows if it ever was to get that way. Ways to insulate the windows. Plastic sheathing and stuff like that. And then worst case scenario, I also have my vehicle prepared for in a crazy situation that we actually get snow that sticks here, which I doubt, but you never know. Anything's possible as we've
you never
seen in the
know.
world that we live in today. So vehicle readiness is another important part, and I'm pretty sure you can agree with me there, especially in your situation, having your vehicles ready for a worst case situation that can handle the weather around you.
Yep.
I have a few other things like having a communication plan with you and your family, in case you're separated, one's at work, you're at home. Stay informed. If you have a little weather radio, make sure you have backup power, like Rudy was talking about with the wall of power stations. Make sure you have some food and water ready to go. Most of us have a prepper pantry. Have water, potable water, non-potable water. And ways possibly to heat that water, so you can still take at least a nice warm washcloth bath. What else do I have in here? One thing that some people forget is specific health considerations I've noticed. And what I mean by health considerations is some people that have specific types of medication, more susceptible to cold weather, easily, things can happen to them as the weather gets very, very cold, or they can't go somewhere if something happens, having the proper medical gear, equipment, backups of their medications and stuff like that. And that's just some quick things I wanted to throw out there. I don't know if you want to add to that, Rudy, in regards to things that the way you prepare for winter.
You know me, Gray. I don't like to talk a lot. So all I have to say is this: it's just basic preparedness, right? So it's just your basic preps that you would normally need for any situation, but tweaked for where you live and what situation you're in.
Exactly.
For example, like I said, someone that lives in Arizona would probably need electricity, electric generation, solar generator, a gas generator, whatever it may be, for an air conditioner, where I would need it to make sure that I keep my heat running. And
Mhm.
redundancy is, in my opinion, a big deal. All right. So I'm looking here at a comment. It says, I can't fathom living in Alaska without a wood burner. And ladies and gentlemen, I have a wood burner, but the thing is that it's my last go-to. So
Mm.
right now, if right now, while we're talking right here, something were to happen where I could no longer get any heating fuel for my heater, where I could no longer get any propane, where I couldn't get anything to heat my home, right now where I stand, I can go 5 years without having to purchase any kind of heating fuel. Right?
Mm.
That's why I don't have a wood stove in my home. You know, one, because my home is not really made for that. I can actually put one in there, but it would be inconvenient. All right. And that's why I don't have one, because preparedness is also a tool that will allow you to think. It will give you time to think of, what do I do next? So, right now, if something happened where I could no longer get any kind of heating fuel or propane, I have 5 years to think, what am I going to do next? Now, more than likely, we're not going to go through a crisis that lasts 5 years where I can't get that stuff. But if for some reason we did, I do have a wood stove. I call it my apocalypse wood stove, and I've shown it off on my videos before on my channel, where it's a small wood stove that would actually heat my home with no problem. And it's a wood stove that I would use to where, instead of actually having the flue go through my walls or my ceiling, I would set it up where I could have it go out through a window, right? So I do have backups to backups to backups, but a wood stove is the last on the list for backups to my heat. So, and like I said, it really depends on your situation.
Yeah, and I have to agree because I do focus a lot on Florida heat. A lot of people move from northern states down to Florida, and they're like, "Oh, it's the Sunshine State, it's the ocean, it's so beautiful," and they have no clue that how bad the heat can,
Yeah,
what the heat can do to you, and the bugs and the wildlife and the afternoon showers that come down. It's like a little mini hurricane every summer afternoon around 5 o'clock. And JT can attest to this because JT lives, probably 10 miles away from me. I think South Florida DCL lives close as well. And it's like a cycle here in Florida. And once you become a Floridian and you get used to it, you can become more accustomed to it. But even us as Floridians, we get complacent sometimes and we can make mistakes. Not proper hydration when you go out on a hike, walking the dog. People get caught off guard, and that's why it's always good to. I call it having an extension of myself in my vehicle, because if I ever get stuck on a hot highway and it takes AAA 2 hours to get to you, you need to do something to make sure that
right.
whoever, if it's just you or your family in that vehicle, that everybody is comfortable and can sustain that for 2 hours without being in the highway stuck at 110 degrees with 90% humidity. So
Hey,
it's
Gray,
exactly, yes.
let me go ahead and promote this. You know, vision preparedness?
I was going to ask you, I saw that on a video, if you could send
Man,
me a
this
link to that.
man, ladies, if you haven't seen the video that I put up on Saturday, go check it out, because I think it's titled something like three things you ought to have in your vehicle. And what I do is I review three things. This is one of them. And this here I got from Vision Preparedness channel. And if you want to know how to get this, go watch that video. And I left the link to his store on there. So I always say this because people always get on me. No, I'm not affiliated with this store. No, I'm not being sponsored. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is an awesome, awesome prep. Everyone ought to have at least one of these
Wow.
in their vehicles, because this will light up in the rain. It will light up wood that's a little bit moist or a little bit wet, and it is very, very easy to light. And it will burn for 30 minutes after you light it. And it's very easy to light it. And it's called pull start fire, right? And I love it when I run into things like this, because Vision Preparedness is a very small channel, like 2,000 subscribers. But look, ladies and gentlemen, look at what he did, or at least this is his kung fu, one of them. I'm not sure if he's the one. I'm not sure if he's the one that actually developed this, but he's the one that introduced me to this product, and it's a great product. You ought to go over there and check it out, and at least get you a pack of three and see how you like it. I'm pretty sure you'll get more afterwards. And you know what's funny, Gray? I remember someone telling me on one of my lives, and they were being nice about it. They were like, "Rudy, you've become such a good salesman." But and you know what? I guess I have to say that I have. But the reason is this: the reason why I think I've become a good salesman, along with some other people out there that have commented that, is because I only tell you guys about the things that I think are awesome. Like, if I didn't think this was awesome, I wouldn't be talking about it at all. But if I think something's really awesome, I'm going to tell you about it 1,000 times so you can go check it out. especially if there's good people behind it. I was actually going to save this for my next video, but I'm going to show you this now too. But I have no idea if they sell this to the lower 48. But this, ladies and gentlemen, this is called Alaskan Essence, Alaskan Essence seasoning. And it's made by someone here. His name is Dan, and he sells it. And I'm not sure if they ship to the lower 48, but I'm going to find out. And if they did, I'm going to promote the heck out of this. The reason being is because I had some of this today on some halibut that I made. I call it's buttered halibut, butter sauce halibut. And this is so good. This is such an awesome seasoning. And again, this here is Dan. And this here is his kung fu. This is what he loves to do. And this is what he does. And he sells this. And it's awesome. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and promote this. He knows absolutely nothing about this, that I'm going to promote this for him. And I hope he gets 1,000 orders when I do, because this is a great product. But for those of you that think that I'm a good salesman, that's why. It's because I only talk about things that I really, really think are a good product, right? That I myself would use. Okay, who's saying that I'm talking too much now, Grey?
Nobody. I'm just clicking to the thing. And I agree. I understand that. I do. Like I said, it's the variety of what I do on my channel myself, from gardening video. I think I confuse you too, because I do gardening videos, I do emergency food prep videos, and then I do review videos. YouTube doesn't know where to classify me at. And I always tell folks, neither. I always tell folks, like, look, man, if I'm showing you, a flashlight or something like that, doesn't mean you have to go run out and buy it. It's just something that was sent to me. I'm showing my viewers, get your thoughts, and if you like it, then buy it. But I always hope that folks don't feel compelled. Are you trying to show off
my hybrid light, man? This is this is okay. Hey, just a second. Let me plug this, okay? Because Hybrid Light is one of the Alaska Preppers' new sponsors. Hybrid Light. These things are awesome. If you did not watch my Saturday video, go watch it, because I actually did a mini review on like 6 of these lights, and they're all different, right? I mean, look at this. This is a work light, right? But you can charge it with a solar panel that's built in, or you can charge it. Let's see, where is it? Or you can charge it AC, right? Or, okay, there we go. Or you can also charge it USB through here. And if you want to hang it up, you can hang it up, right? But if you hang it up and it's not at the right angle, guess what? You can push it around. I love these lights. I think these things are awesome, all right? So go check out that video. I go over, like, here's another one right here. This one's called the Hex. It's a it's got a little speaker on it, right? But it's a hanging light that you can hang off of anything in your tent or whatever. But like I said, I only talk about things that I think are great. And the funny thing about this company, Hybrid Light, is that I'd actually reviewed their flashlights before a long time ago, and I love them. They're up there, right there. You see them right there? They're there, right there. And then they contacted me. I was like, man, I love your guys' flashlight. Of course I want to promote them. But anyways, that's what it's about. It's about promoting stuff that you think is really good. That way, whoever gets them, if they decide to get them, they're not going to be disappointed that they bought a piece of junk.
Yeah, and I agree. I'm looking at love it, man. Love it. Where's it at? I just saw another one too.
Hey, Peter's in the house. How you doing, Pete? Pete Weichel? Good to see you, brother. Say hello to Janice for me.
Yeah, I'm a flashlight nerd, knife nerd. God, man, I love these things, and that's why when these companies reach out to me, I love working with them, just because I get to play around with something and share it with you, my viewers, regardless if people are interested in it or not. It's just still fun to like. I'm doing this one will drop. I'm doing a review on this flashlight come I think tomorrow. Yeah, to drop tomorrow.
That's a nice one.
It's I like it because it has a multi-purpose. I don't want to go too deep into it and ruin the review, but it's just. I love EDC lights that work well and have multiple functions that you can do multiple things with. But yeah, coming soon to a channel near me.
Can I talk?
No, not yet. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Come on. Hey, guess what, Grey? Guess what? So you know that last flashlight video you did? The one that was like a square flashlight? That thing is awesome.
It's a beast, man.
Guess who used your link and went out there and bought like 3 flashlights?
You did really?
I think their flashlights are great also. I think they're really good flash, but I didn't buy the one that you reviewed. I bought a couple of their keychain ones, and then I bought another one that looked pretty cool, just so that I can check them out because it looked pretty nice. So yeah, man, I went over there and I hope that you're affiliated with them because I made sure to use your link and your discount code, which was very generous, by the way.
Yeah, I did some research on the company in itself, and they actually do a lot of flashlights for a lot of other companies. And I watched
Really?
an entire video on their warehouse and their quality control and stuff like that. That being said, Rudy, this is the light that you're waiting for me to do a review on because I want to do a comparison review to these two lights. And it's going to launch either at the end of this month or early January because this is a $325 light. This is a $75 light.
I want to see that.
It's going to be, people are going to be shocked. This has its pros and this has its cons, but they both, depending on what you need it for. I mean, these things are beast. You know what I mean?
I only have one use for that light. Like when you review that light, I'm waiting for you to review it so I can buy it using your link, right? Because I want to use your link. But there's only one thing that I have planned to do with that light. It's not going to be to spot anything. It's not going to be to see. Literally, it's going to be to blind. I think that a light like that, that's that powerful, is awesome for home defense. Just think about this.
Absolutely.
You hear something in the night and you get your shotty and you're waiting at the top of the steps and you see someone down there. You flash that light on them. They're not going to be able to see anything. You're going to be in complete control. All right. So yeah, that's the one reason why I want that light is because it's so powerful.
I want to add something to that. So this thing puts out about 12 to 14,000 lumens. At the minimum, 400 lumens is already a blinding light in pitch blackness. So imagine having something, 15, 20 times that, and you're hitting them with that kind of light at night, and they're breaking into your house or your yard or something like that. You are going to get the upper hand. And that's why tactical lights and lights like this truly have a place in emergency preparedness outside of just illuminating things,
The only thing that would make that light better is if they could make an adapter for us so you can put it on your Piccanelli rail. on your M6 your what do you call it, AR-15 or something like that.
that would be intense.
That would be so awesome, man. Hey, Kim's Cluckers says Kim's Cluckers is teasing me, man. She's like, I got my free OPS flashlight. Have you gotten yours? I still haven't gotten my OPS flashlight. Can you believe that?
Yeah, where's I just had that. I clicked off it. I need some good flashlights. I do have camping lanterns, oil lanterns as well. And as you can see behind me, I love lanterns and oil lanterns, electric lanterns, battery powered lanterns. The redundancies. Be it battery powered, oil, electronic, whatever. I like them all just because illumination is huge. Especially, just imagine, folks, if we ever truly got into a situation where they're without power for over a month, which I've literally been in that situation, and had little boys. They were young. My sons were only 3, 4, and 6 at the time, and having just a little bit of light at the time made it that much more better for those kids. That was my wake up call in regards to getting into emergency preparedness, is having those young children and having no power and not being prepared, and being without that for almost a month. So definitely.
You guys cracking me up, man. Oh, good.
Oh, love it.
Now take a look at that one that Lady T put up.
Where's
It's
Lady
about
T? Up,
3
right
or 4 up. Yeah, isn't that now? That, ladies and gentlemen, don't tell me that you can't prepare. Anybody can prep. All you have to do is want to do it. And instead of telling yourself you can't do it, tell yourself, how can I do it? All right, that's awesome. Good for you, Lady T.
Van City Adventure, I agree. That's the light that I reviewed just recently, was the Wubon X1 Falcon. I thought I had it with me, but I was trying to see. Oh, I do have it.
Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Check this out. Hey, look at this, Gray. Let me see yours. Look at that. Wham. You want to see whose light is brighter?
I'll put it on low. Hold on, here we go.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute here. I think that's a little more than 15 lumen.
Where's my keys? I don't have my keys on me. They're
Yeah,
on
but
my
you know
night.
what, Gray? You know what I love about these little guys is that you forget they're there, but when you need them, they're there.
Oh,
So
for sure.
the other day, I went up to the back of my house to fill up my heating oil tank, and I forgot to bring a flashlight with me because usually I'll put my my inlet in there and it'll be going, and I need a flashlight to look in to make sure it's not going to get overfilled. And I'm like, oh man, I forgot to get my flashlight to bring, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's this right here? Hey man, it's always there. I love these little guys.
Agreed, Linda.
Yep, indeed.
What
The
lighter?
Dollar Tree is going up to $1.50. That doesn't surprise me.
I've been hearing that a lot, man. I've been hearing that. Thank you, Margarita. This is the most recent one I reviewed was the Wubon X1 Falcon. Then I have this one is coming out tomorrow, which is the I guess I can say it because the sale started today. It's the Olight Arcfeld Pro, and because I've been using the Olight Arcfeld as my EDC light for over a year and a half now, or a year at least, and I'm upgrading to this one just because it's I like the flat profile of this in my pocket versus a round light. But
let me see.
Check it out tomorrow, folks.
Let me see. Somebody asked me what kind of light is this. Laura, go ahead and check out my last payday prep video. And I show you these on that, and you could probably get the name off the package. I don't remember. I literally probably have over 100 flashlights. But on my last payday prep video, these are in there. Check them out, and you'll probably be able to get the name off the package. But they're cheap. They're like $3 a piece or something like that.
Believe it or not, Rudy, we're an hour in.
Hey, this is my last live stream of the year. Unless, of course, I get really bored one day, and maybe for a little bit during Christmas. So if you want to keep going for a little longer, Gray, that's up to you. If you don't, we can close it out.
I always leave a half hour open outside of our live stream just in case we go long. So you're still good. I was just wondering if we should go over any of this stuff that I have here. I'm trying to see if anything is important.
Yeah, it's been an hour already. That's awesome.
There was one here. I have an article that's talking about this focuses on India, but it's talking about a cyber party. Basically, it's a cyber hacker group scheduled for. I mean, I guess I could bring it up while I'm talking about it. It's a hacker group, and they call it a cyber party. I guess on December 11th, they're gonna do some funny stuff to the Indian government. The Indian government has urged all government departments to make immediate steps to improve their cybersecurity measures. The report highlights that information has been extracted from Telegram channel that has around 4,000 members. The group is behind planned attacks that has a history of targeting other countries, including the United States, Sweden, and Israel. Yeah. They've launched over 1,200. They've hit over 1,200 government websites. And the reason I wanted to bring that up is just because of the fact of it goes beyond that. We've had our what was it last year? Was it the
Cyber Polygon?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And a couple other things that they've hit. That was about the polar vortex. I mean, we kind of already talked about the whole winter thing. Mm-hmm. I suggest people research the polar vortex. There's some channels out there that go deep dive on this. These weather guys. I had that there too. What basically the key takeaway from this slide was, and the reason I'm going through this fast is so that we can just talk more about whatever we want to talk about.
Well, wait a minute. Great. Just a second, man. Can you go back to the last one real quick?
The cyber attack?
I have something to talk about this and the polar vortex as well. Now, okay. So ladies and gentlemen, after reading this, keep this in mind. In my opinion, we are almost at the end of this civilization, meaning this, that probably within our lifetimes, an event is going to occur that will probably wipe out most of humanity and we start over again. Why do I say this? When you take a look at this and see what human hackers can do nowadays, think about artificial intelligence once it comes in line with quantum computing. Think about that. Quantum computing is computing power that can pretty much replace any thinker in the world. Now, what happens when that and artificial intelligence come together? All right, ladies and gentlemen, think about
Absolutely.
that. And as far as the next one, Gray, the polar vortex one, uh,
I can
it's
scroll over.
already, yeah. All you have to remember is this, ladies and gentlemen, that the reason that the polar vortex is breaking down is because you drive an internal combustion engine. The reason that the polar vortex is breaking down, like it's done several times in the past history, is because you like to eat meat. The reason it's breaking down is because you won't eat bugs. Remember that it's 100% your fault. So when some of these weather events occur during this year that correlate to the polar vortex breaking down, right, and bringing cold down to the lower 48s and states that are below, and then creating really bad blizzards, remember that it's all your fault. Okay, I know I'm being sarcastic, but that is what you're going to be told. You will be told by the mainstream media that the reason it's getting colder is because of global warming. All right, that's what you're going to be told. And if you fall for it, then that's really too bad. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to give you a heads up that the mainstream media will attack your intelligence and tell you that it's getting colder because we warmed the earth. It's not because of that. The reason it's getting colder, and that reason it's going to snow a lot in certain parts of the country, is because it's a cycle that has happened before and it will happen again. And that's
Mhm.
that. The question is are you going to be prepared to overcome those challenges? That's the question.
I think the only other slide I had was the about Britain, where it said it should stock up on torches, aka uh,
Flashlights.
flashlights and candles in case of power cuts. Say Dowden. Basically, they're warning people in Britain again that there's going to be
Man, I'll tell
possible
you what,
cyber
man.
attacks.
Those darn conspiracy theorists.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these conspiracy theorists trying to scare the people into telling them to get prepared. Imagine that, Gray. Imagine these people telling people that they have to get prepared. And you know
It's
what the
crazy.
sad thing is? The sad thing is this. All right, I'll make it quick. Is that most people, unfortunately, would rather listen to their government than to listen to their countrymen. That's the unfortunate thing. However, I do have good news. I believe that they took a poll here. I did a video on this, I think, a few days ago, a week ago or so. And they did a poll that about 25% of the younger generation, I think it's Gen Z, are now prepping and consider themselves preppers to a certain extent. Either a big time prepper that they're prepping for everything, or at least preparing for a certain amount of time, which that is good news. But go ahead, listen to the government. All right. Since the government is telling you to get flashlights and candles, go get your flashlights and candles, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about anything else. Just do what the government tells you to do. Because, man, I'll tell you what, when you look at history, that's always worked out really, really well. Man, did you feel like ending it off on a sarcastic note, Gray?
Oh man, it's just
Man,
what I always hope that whatever we discuss and the videos that we produce, as well as many other channels out there. There's lots of great channels outside of just you and I. Um, that people take away from those channels and our channels is to at least start prepping if you haven't already started prepping. Get prepared. Like you said, slow and steady wins the race. You can't do it all in one big shebang. Don't put yourself into debt doing that.
nope.
Um, and just focus on the important things, like we always say. I know Rudy said it plenty of times. I've said it. Your food, ways to protect yourself, water, medicine. Make sure you have a roof over your head. Things to keep yourself warm or cool depending on your environment. Just the little tidbits right there can go a long way.
Agree.
And I know in January I'm trying to structure my channel a little bit better. In January I have some things I'm going to be kind of going over. I'm building an everyday carry bag for myself and the wife, but mainly focusing, I'm trying to help her because she works a lot. I want her to always be prepared on the road because she drives, half hour to work and back. And some people will say, well, I've seen how to build an EDC bag or a get home bag or this bag or whatever bag. Or, I've seen this millions of times, but it's always good to have just a little bit of a refresher because each year things change and every person out there has a different perspective on some of the important things. And you might find something that someone has in that go bag or an EDC bag that you've never seen before. And it might be beneficial. I have something that I'm going to be showing you that I picked up from watching a channel that it was an hour-long video, which I enjoyed, about his preparedness. And he's a Green Beret. And he showed me something on there that I've never seen before. And I went out and bought 5 of them just because I was like, that's actually super cool and super important. And it was actually affordable. And I'll share that coming soon to a GreyMan channel.
Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You're going to have to wait till his video comes out, but I'm going to get that information right after this live stream.
Roger that, brother. But it's just, some people say, I watch a lot of gun guys too on YouTube. The tactical guys, like Mike Jones. I don't know. You guys probably know him as Garrett Thumb, Dirty Civilian. Matter of fact, Dirty Civilian, that channel, some people probably have never even heard of who I'm talking about, but Dirty Civilian is a channel of a group of 3 guys, and they do a lot of gun stuff, but they have realized how important emergency preparedness is outside of doing the tactical stuff. One of the gentlemen has now he's built a homestead for himself because he realized how important food and self-sufficiency is. They're getting into that kind of realm of things. And it's just very cool stuff out there that other channels. I watched, I don't know, Rudy, you ever heard of Self-Sufficient Me?
I think he's a guy from Australia. Right?
Yeah. It was really funny.
Good,
I was watching
good channel.
Yeah, I was watching his video today. It was an older video, and it was funny because he was talking about being prepared. What foods could you grow that absolutely could sustain you, because our government is insane. Like he's, got a little political in it, which he never usually does. Everyone on the entire spectrum, from homesteaders to tactical guys to this and that, are all starting to wake up and like, man, being a prepper and being prepared is actually a very, very smart thing. And it's cool to see that, how it's expanding all over the place.
It is one of the things that scares governments the most. A prepared citizenry. Because when you are a prepared citizenry, you don't have to do what you're told, because you need what the person who's telling you what to do has. So as long as you're independent from your government and you don't need them, they are scared of that, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to go ahead and say this right here. Here, Surviving Behind Liberal Lines. How you doing? It says, I will find info on my water-activated flashlight and place it on one of your videos comments. I actually reviewed that flashlight a few years back. I still have one. I had 2. I took one out of the package and reviewed it, and it actually works. It doesn't provide you with a lot of lumen, but the reason I had 2 and kept one in its package is because I think it's a good flashlight to have it's like, this is the last flashlight I have. I have absolutely nothing left that I can use except for a water activated flashlight, and it works. So yeah, it works. If you buy it, what I would recommend is to have it as your last go-to flashlight that you can ever use. But the one that I have after a year, it still worked after I activated the cell inside of it with water. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oops. Exactly. Oh man. Other than that,
government has been useless forever, man. Man, government. Don't get me started, Gray. Don't get me started, man.
I'm kind of looking at the comments real fast.
Yeah, I was too. Ladies and gentlemen of the United States of America, what I have to say is this: don't ever give up your Second Amendment, ever. All right. And always understand why it is that government is asking you to do something. Usually, whenever they have to ask you to do something and keep asking you, then you have to ask yourself, why do they keep doing that? For example, let's take a look at that juicy juice that they wanted everyone to have a few years back. All right. And I'm not passing judgment on anyone. I don't care what you do. It's your life. You do what you want to do with it. Right. But my question is, why in the world? I was asking myself this question back then when they were pushing the juicy juice. I hope you know what I mean, during the health crisis, right? My question was, Why in the world, if something is so good for you, why in the world is it that the government has to take taxpayers' money, money that you already paid them, to try to convince you to take it? I would figure that if something was so good for you, that was so needed, that you wouldn't have to try to sell it to anyone. That people would just be like, please give me that stuff. I want it. I don't care what I have to do. Give it to me. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And in a and taking that to the other side, why is it that something that's so bad for you, ladies and gentlemen, something that is so bad for you, like a firearm, all right? Why is it that it's so bad for you in the name or in the eyes of government? Because you would think that if they were talking about firearms being so bad for you, that cause, let's say that firearms could get up and walk across the table and take your life. Let's say that could happen. Let's say that that's what's been happening for years. Well, last year, about 46,000 people had their lives extinguished by firearms because the firearms got up and they took someone's life 46,000 times, right? But uh, why is it that drugs coming from the southern border taking the lives of over 107,000 Americans every year? Why don't they talk about that? When the lives of 47,000 people are taken by, let's say, firearms, and we all know that that's not the right number, that the real number is a lot lower, like maybe less than a third of that number. But let's just make believe. Why is it that when 46,000 lives are lost because of this, why is it that when 107,000 lives are lost because of something else, it's not even talked about? You have to make sure that you can think for yourselves. Government is here for one reason and one reason alone, and that is for government. But unfortunately for government, there always comes a time in the history of a nation where the government runs out of other people's money. And since governments can't produce anything and don't produce anything, they don't have their own money to govern with. So once they do run out of other people's money and finish destroying the value in that same fiat currency that they make you use with the threat of the law, once they run out of that, guess what? It's time for a new system. And hopefully we will end up with a governing system that is a lot more fair and just than the one we have now. And I have no idea why I went on that rant, Gray, but since it was the last rant that I was going to have on a live stream until next year, I figured I'd go for it.
Go for it, brother. Patricia wants to know where she can buy a good wool blanket at.
Army Navy surplus.
I was going to say the same thing.
Those are the best wool blankets.
Yeah,
the Army blankets, those are the best ones. I love those things.
Yeah, I was going to. I saw someone in there asking about a pump, a pump firearm. And look, folks, when it comes to a firearm, and I rather you have any firearm than no firearm. And the reason I say that is, if you watch the channels that I watch, they have a $5,000 AR-15, $6,000 optics on it, $3,000 stock, and all this really cool stuff on there.
Yeah,
which is neat, but you don't need all that, to be honest with you. Having $6,000 to $12,000 night vision and Kevlar helmets. I mean, I'm guilty, folks. I'm guilty. I have multiple plate carriers, right? If I'm ever put in the position to use that plate carrier, things have gotten really, really, really bad. So it sits at, however much money I paid for it. I'd rather you guys focus on the food, the water, the medical stuff first. And then if you want to get the cool dude, tactical, LARPing kind of stuff that I do, then you can go that direction. You know what I mean? But
hey, Gray.
Yes.
Hey, can you go up probably about 10? Vision preparedness is at 4:19 p.m. Vision preparedness.
4:19. Vision. This vision right here. This one.
Yeah. Hey, Trent, check it out, man. Check it out. Hey, Trent, go ahead and put up the link to your store where you sell these. Put up the link to your store, and Gray, if you can allow the moderators to share the link on here once he puts it up, because once he puts it up, it won't show unless the moderator actually puts it up.
The moderators can handle it.
Yeah, Vision Preparedness. Trying, go ahead and put up your link, man. That way we can go ahead and hook you up. Hopefully 1,000 people will go and buy that. I already told them how good it is. And I believe that it is that good. There it is right there. So that's his channel. On the description of his channel, ladies and gentlemen, you can go and find those pull starts. You can go and find those and go to the store and get them. Go ahead and get a pack of 12 while you're at it. Right? I'm serious. Those things will make such awesome Christmas presents. You take a pack of 3, right? You take them apart. You give one of these to everyone that you know and say, hey, keep this in your car. If you ever need it, you're going to get 30 minutes of fire. Okay.
And the whole reason I was talking about the whole, you know, and thank you, Homestead Gaming. Yeah, I like to LARP. Since I'm not in the military anymore, it's called LARPing. Have you heard the term LARPing, Rudy?
No.
It's the tactical, you know, if I was to, you know, get all, like if I was in the military, when you get out, you know what I mean? And you got all the cool high speed gear, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm one of those guys that got all that weird high speed gear, you know what I mean? But I have, honestly, what I do with my plate carrier, one of them that I have, that's what I do. I walk around in it to gain exercise because it's heavy. But besides the point, what I was trying to get at that is like, if you have a water purifier, be it the Live Straw, be it the Berkey, be it the Sawyer, just have something, folks. Just have something. Anything. You don't have to have the most expensive, craziest thing out there. You know what I mean? It's hard for people. Yes.
Margarita Castaneda is asking, what is a plate carrier?
Oh, a plate carrier basically is a bulletproof vest in layman's terms, I guess you can call it.
Yeah.
It's something that protects you from getting shot. But what they don't tell you if you don't know what it is, and you know, people like, oh, you have to have it, you know, you should have this in your emergency preps. Even if with a plate carrier, if you get shot by a high-powered rifle and a plate carrier, even with the trauma pad behind it,
it's going to hurt.
You're still going to probably have a broken rib and some pain. You know what I mean? You're alive, but you're still going to probably need medical attention. Just putting that out there.
You see, I hope this doesn't come back to bite me in the butt, but I don't have a plate carrier. Because I look at other countries, right, Grey, that have like had a financial collapse. Because that's what I think is going to happen to us. So I look at Argentina, I look at Venezuela, I look at Zimbabwe, right? Those are the 3 most recent ones. I even look at Germany back during Weimar before World War II started, right? It wasn't SHTF in the form that people were, you know, out firing, you know, shooting peas at each other, right? None of it was like that. And what I figured is that should the time come when I need a plate carrier, because I need it because maybe our borders have been invaded, you know what I mean? And there's actually foreign troops on ground or blue helmets on ground or whatever. There's going to be plenty of plate carriers to pick up from the ground. There really will be. And I guess I'm hopeful that day will never come. But that's pretty much why I don't have it, because for me personally, I'm not saying you shouldn't get one. For me personally, I don't think the time will come when we need that. If it's just a financial collapse and a reorganization of our monetary system, like happened in 1971 under Nixon, for me, it's going to be needed if something really bad happens and we get attacked by a foreign government, where we actually have to have a fight within our borders, which has never happened before. You know, except for Civil War, of course.
Right.
And if it does, I feel that, hey, there's going to be plenty of them where you can just get one from, you know, a blue helmet, you know, that's going down. Anyways.
I'll be honest with you, brother. You know what I wear a lot, especially in the wintertime, when I can get away with it, because I can put a hoodie over it or a sweater or a long sleeve shirt, a chest rig. You know what a chest rig is.
Oh, yeah, a chest rig. Yeah, now that's something that I can go with.
I love my chest rig. I can put several mags. I can put a couple other things, flashlights, multi-tool, tourniquet, stuff like that. And it's very flat against me. It's in the right spot. And, you know, it's just, I can put a shirt over it. No one knows it. And they have civilian chest rigs, civilian low profile chest rigs that are really nice. Maybe one of these days I'll do a video on that stuff like that. It just,
you should.
I've never done the tactical stuff on the channel, and I have all the gear. You know what I mean? If you ask my wife, too much gear, but I never think there's not enough. Um, but
And
these are just
that's what I always that's what I talk about, man. It's great. You know, it's like we're all different. And
agreed.
that's what and that's a good thing, you know. So like, you know, some people may think that, hey, you have to have this. This is something we have to have right now. That's great. Go get one. Go get it. No, I'm serious. Go get it. If you really feel like you need it, you have to go get it. You know, if it's going to help you sleep better at night, you have to go get it. You know, especially if
Agreed.
you can afford it. Obviously, no one, I don't think you should go into debt for stuff, you know, very minimal things that I would say go into debt for, you know. But yeah,
It's everybody's circumstances is different. Everybody preps different. Everyone has different
yeah,
things that are important to them. And, you know, just because I do what I do, you do what you do, so and so does what they do. As long as you're prepping, hey, that's all I care about.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And look at this. Skipping Rock says, I'm looking for night vision glasses. Now, you see, I would rather have a good set of night vision glasses than a chest rig, to tell you the truth. You know what I mean? I would rather have that. But like I said, everyone's different. So, you know, I actually put some money into a night vision glasses, night vision goggle, mono. And I think they're awesome, man. They're actually really awesome to have recreationally speaking, to take a look at the stars at night through night vision. Really cool. But I would rather have my money in that. But it's different. People have different, you know, different tastes on what they want to do. You know, especially
Well,
when it comes to spending a lot of money.
you saw that video I did with the thermal, that little thermal thing that hooks to a
That
phone.
thing is really cool, man. Really
That to me,
cool.
I wish that video would get 100,000 views because it's so affordable and it can come in so handy for just everyday purposes, to hunting, to just, you know, checking your backyard to make sure that no one's behind there. Thermal and night vision have it definitely have a place in emergency preparedness.
Where's mine? Let
And
me see
with
if I got mine over here. Where is it? Oh yeah, there it is.
you,
Look at that.
you got
Here,
that nice one.
I'll show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you all. There's probably some people here that don't know what they look like. I'll show you what it looks like. And this one gray is the exact same one that I had when I was in the army. I think they're called PVS4. Is that it? I
Yeah.
think this is. I think this one's Gen 3, which is the same one I had.
Man, you're
And
old then.
yeah, well, yeah, I am. But I'll show you what I'll show you what one of the reasons is that I love this model. Right. So this is a mono, right? So this is what it looks like. And yep, you can mount it. You know, you can mount it. You know, on a rifle if you want. But this is very nice. One of the reasons why I decided to get this model is because this, it only uses a AA. A lot of the newer models use like the 3-volt batteries. They use crazy batteries that you have to special whatever. This one uses a AA. And this will last a really long time on one AA. So I think this is a great model. I would rather have this and one firearm or 2 firearms than to not have this and have 1,000 firearms. Because this right here is what is called a, what do you call these, Gray? A multiplier, a combat multiplier or something like that. It means that it gives you an advantage, a great advantage over
It's
the enemy, right?
force
A
multiplier.
force multiplier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what you call a force multiplier, meaning that if you have one of these, you can probably take on 5 or 6 guys, especially if that's at nighttime, right? So anyways, this is what night vision looks like, or at least one of the versions of night vision. They are very pricey, ladies and gentlemen, all right? But in my opinion, they're very well worth it, right?
Miss Worm, God, let me try to do this real fast, Miss Worm, because I do so many videos that I can't remember sometimes. Where am I at? Let me see if I can find my channel real quick, and I'll show it to you guys.
Let's see.
Where's my videos? Here we go. Rudy, you're supposed to be talking while I'm doing this.
Okay, well, NC asks, how much was that and what brand? So that's actually military grade, right? And the link that I used to get that was from Southern Prepper One. So if you want to go and take a look at they're all military grade. Go to Southern Prepper One's channel, and the link that I used to get that was from his channel. I don't know if his latest videos have that same link, but that's where I got it from. And they are very pricey, ladies and gentlemen. That small piece of equipment that I just showed you is above $2,000. Okay, and I actually have a funny story behind that. Gray, are you ready, or do you want me to tell the funny story behind it?
I found it real quick.
Go ahead and talk about that then.
Yeah, it's this one right here. It says you have.
Oh yeah.
Is this the best cheap thermal camera for iPhone, Android? And that's the thumbnail for it. The little thing in my hand is the thermal thing there. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I saw that video. It's a very nice little piece of equipment.
But go ahead, AP.
Oh, anyways, the funny story behind that the night vision goggles is that they're a little over $2,000. I think I got them a little over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago or so. And the funny thing is that when I got them, I went ahead and ordered them and paid for them, right? And like a month later, I still hadn't gotten them. So I gave them a call. I'm like, hey, I haven't gotten this yet. And they're like, what do you want to do? Do you want us to ship you another one, or do you want a refund? I was like, just give me a refund. So they gave me a refund, and I was like, I still want to get one, right? But I just held on to my money for a little bit. And then about a week later, guess what comes in the mail? That comes in the mail after I received the refund. And ladies and gentlemen, yes, it was a test, and I passed it. As soon as I got that in the mail, I called them back and I had them charge my credit card again. But yeah, they're pretty pricey, and I would make sure that if I got one, it was from a reputable site. And like I said, I believe I remember getting it from the link that that Southern Prepper One had. And I haven't had any problems with it since, and it's worked the way it's supposed to work. Right now, some people may tell you, hey, instead of purchasing that for a couple $1,000, why don't you save up another $1,000 or so and get a thermal instead of a night vision? And I would say that I would agree with that. You know, I wouldn't mind having a thermal, because a thermal is actually better than night vision, because with night vision, let's say for example that somebody is undercover, then you're not going to be able to see them. But with thermal, if someone is undercover, depending what it is, you'll still be able to see their heat signature. So it's really up to you what you want to get.
Yeah, and if you're wearing night vision and I happen to notice you're wearing night vision, I would just hit you with something like this and destroy.
There you go. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great tool to have. It's a blinder, you know. But one of the things that they teach you with night vision is that, like, you see how that was a monocular? You want to keep your other eye closed. Yeah. So when you're looking through those, you want to keep your other eye closed. That way, if you do get hit with light, you have an eye that you can open up and you can still have a good sight, good night sight with that eye. So.
All right. I want to make sure I picked everything. So I see some people said they got total of 3 ads, which makes sense. We went an hour and a half. So that makes sense. 3 ads. That.
And look at this. I want to mention this. Sean Penrod says, I only have my shotty and my 9mm. That's all you need, Sean. As long as they're serviceable, as long as you're trained with them, as long as you're proficient with them, you have ammo for them, that's all you need. Because a shotty is a very universal firearm that you can pretty much do anything with. It's great for home defense, in my opinion, because with a shotty, you don't have to aim. All you have to do is point. And in my opinion, you can use it for different types of hunting, whether it be small game or even large game. If you have slugs, you can use it for hunting. And 9mm, great for EDC, great for self-defense and tight situation, etc. I think those are 2 great firearms to have. In my opinion, of course.
Yeah, the way I look at it is, this is my personal preference, is I like to have a primary and a secondary, and that's what I usually focus on.
Yeah, but I mean, for people that can only afford 1 or 2 firearms, I think that's a great combination. If you could only afford 1 firearm and that's it, I would say get a shotty, because they're so diverse.
And they're easy to take care of and clean and stuff like that as well. A lot of people don't. I've had arguments with people about a 22 rifle as well. They're like, "Why would you need a 22 rifle? Can't do this, it can't do that." I said, "Man, I've hunted when I was in Michigan with a 22 rifle. I killed. Not even say kill. I guess that's a bad word to say, but I hunted so much with that and got so much food with the 22.
Yeah, 22 is a good I mean, people don't understand a 22 is a 223.
Exactly.
It's the same
That's
caliber. It's the
yeah.
same
People don't get it.
caliber. It just doesn't have the same amount of powder behind it as a
Exactly.
5.56 223 does. It's the same thing. And they've done the plywood test with the 22. I think
Mhm.
it's at 100 meters. At 100 meters, a 22 can go through a half-inch piece of plywood. It means that it can go through a human skull at 100 meters. So
Absolutely.
22 just gets a lot of slack because it's kind of like the smallest round that there is. But I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, if I was coming down a road and I was getting pepper sprayed with 22s, I wouldn't keep going down that same road. Right? That's all it comes
You,
down to.
you know, not to let the chicken out the bag, kind of, as they say, or whatever they call it. I have a small 22, a Walther P22 with the suppressor on it, and it is deadly silent. Deadly silent.
Isn't it nice?
It's the I've had it for 10 years
Oh
probably
man,
at
you
this
know,
point.
Gray, you're not allowed to show like firearms on live streams, are you? No, I'm not going to do it. I was going to say we can do show and tell, and I can show you my very favorite sidearm. It's a Beretta M9A3. I love that thing, but I
I've
don't think
heard
you're allowed to show it during a live stream. I think
I
that they'll shut it off.
Yeah,
But
I've heard
anyways,
that
it's fine.
too, and I've seen people do it because I've showed you before we start. I always keep mine literally on me, my everyday carry.
Yeah, I
It's
just love that firearm. Whenever I say my favorite firearm is a Beretta, people are like, "Oh man, you're a dinosaur." But man, I'll tell you what, that is to me that is the awesomest battle sidearm that there is. It's all metal. The action on that thing is beautiful. It's flawless. I mean, it feels like butter. And the one of the ones that I have is a tactical, the A3, which means that it does
nice.
have a threaded barrel in the end, and it's got a I always say Picanelli or Picanelli rail on
Picatinny,
it.
Picatinny.
Picatinny. I always mess that up. Picatinny rail on it. Very, very nice. But
I,
anyways, we can't do show and tell of that on this. I
yeah.
don't want to shut you down.
I stumble on words all the time, and they always make sure to correct me down in the comments. So,
Well,
oh
I'm getting
man,
ready to. I'm going to go ahead and release, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be releasing my second video of the day, actually, on my channel here in a few minutes. So I hope you enjoy that one. It's something new that I'm doing with the news, and well, I'll let you take a look at it if you want to go take a look at it. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and call it, Gray, if that's it.
yeah, no, I'm good. I was just letting it run. We're at that hour and 37-minute mark. We went long, but it's our last together live stream for the year.
Yeah.
So again, like I told everybody, I myself are going to do one. It's going to be a laid back Q&A kind of Christmas, hang out with everybody for maybe an hour live stream. And that will be my final one. I may do it next week. I'm not sure it'll be right before Christmas. You'll see it pop up. I always tell people, check my community tab. I post things there. But I will have I have several, probably at least 5 to 10 more videos somewhere around there that I'll be releasing. I know I got a garden video, some review videos, and some other odds and ends to release before the end of the year. So
Awesome. Well, let me say Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy Hanukkah. I think there's like 2 or 3 days of Hanukkah left, something like that.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But anyways, happy Hanukkah, ladies and gentlemen. If you celebrate that, Merry Christmas to everyone, since we are in the Christmas season. Remember the reason for the season, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope that you all stay safe. God bless every one of you. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, not only for Gray, but for myself, for always supporting what we do and always being good people, because that in the end is the most important thing. And remember to thank God. Thank God for everything that you
Absolutely.
have, or thank your creator. I always get in trouble for that when they say, oh, they should thank God, not their creator. There's only, no, ladies and gentlemen, thank whoever your creator is. It's not for me to tell you who you have to worship to or anything like that. I thank God personally, but remember to thank God and thank your creator for everything that he has allowed you to do this year and providing for yourselves, for your families, and for your community.
Sounds good, brother. As always, folks, we truly appreciate all your support. If you get a chance, drop a comment down there. Let us know your thoughts. Wish everyone a Merry Christmas down after the live stream ends in the comment section. It's like, just like if you were watching a video, it does help other people find our channels. It helps other people get engaged into emergency preparedness. By you doing that, it benefits not only us, but it benefits other people out there searching for information that we share. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart, but I'll probably be able to do that right before on a live stream myself. But God bless everyone out there. Be safe and always stay prepared. And as Rudy likes to say it, we'll catch everybody on the rebound. And remember, folks, you're not alone.
Bye-bye. God bless.
Bye. God bless. Thank you for watching.